Hello everybody, got another fan video for you. Just like the last one, a little unusual to have one at this time of the year. In fact, it actually snowed today when I went to pick this up. It is what appears to be, from what I can tell off of YouTube, somewhere around 1958 Westinghouse box fan. This is the 2-speed reversible version. So with the knob on the top, you can make it go forward and back. It's a little hard to see. There's no badges on this fan. Everything is a decal. So this is a little bit rusty. It's probably in the worst shape of all the fans I've picked up on this adventure, building the collection. So it's a little dirty, it's a little rusty. It was a garage fan, but there doesn't seem to be any deep rust, meaning flaking structural rust. It seems to be mostly superficial. You could probably sandblast this, repaint it, and end up with a pretty gorgeous restoration. You could afford to rechrome the grates, which they would need that, and that's expensive nowadays. So it runs, believe it or not. We plugged it in, and she runs. So I took her home. It's got some replacement items to help the grates stay on. These had what looks like was a rubber grommet. So there's some Rube Goldberg style repairs on the grates. But despite that, it doesn't seem to rattle very much when it runs. I'm going to try and do a handheld show and tell also. But this is what the front of it looks like. And I'll flip it around to the back for you. Alright, so here's the Westinghouse from the back. It's got a huge motor. Although this could just be a motor casing, I'm not really sure. Some of these fans that are not the reversible type have the Westinghouse hexagonal motor that you'd find in the stand fans, the round-shaped stand fans, the mobile air, did they call them? I don't really know. But this round doodad here, I believe is part of the reversing mechanism. Probably reverses the polarity or the flow or whatever of the AC current. I'm not sure about that, but that could be. As you can see, it's got cloth wiring. Yay. Appears to be intact though, and you can see here where it goes through the Vecturi housing back to the other side to the switch. There is an oil port opening. This needs to be obviously cleaned. But beyond dirt and grime, there's definitely rust in here, as you can see. So the fan's pretty rusty, which that happens, right? The back grate, there's some chrome left on here, but this is, it's pretty rusty. So I know you can hit that with a little WD-40 or whatever. See what happens with it. Rusty on the sides. I'm showing it from you the back also to show you the writing on it, because it's written in a way that you have to be looking at the back of the fan to read it. There's the Westinghouse logo. Not a badge. There's no badge on the fan. It's all these stencils. I don't know if it's a decal or if that's painted on, but it says electrically reversible behind the handle. Here's the Westinghouse handle. Intact. The handle is pretty significant, and it needed to be because this is a heavy fan. And here's the switch. It's got a really cool arrow on the end of it, and here you have your high-low airflow, and it shows which way it's in pointing. So that's in, and this is out. There you go. So still legible, and obviously because it's not badged, if you were to repaint this fan, you'd lose all that stuff. So, who knows? So let's turn her around. Now this fan doesn't have any feet on the bottom, which it should, and you can see there's definitely a hooking style opening for feet. No feet, not a one. They probably lost 1 foot, and from the pictures I've seen of these fans, they had a nice substantial foot. So if you lost 1 foot, the thing would just be teetering on the 3 feet. So it's probably why they took off the rest of them. As you can see in the front, no badge at all. It's got the, I really like this, the circular opening in front of the wheel hub is great. Here is your switch housing. As you can see, there's the cloth wire that comes in, and then it comes across this way. Okay, the wires go across this way to this round housing, which again, I believe has something to do with the reversing function. All right, and we are back with the Westinghouse 1958-ish. I forgot to mention the writing under the handle, which has some model information stuff, and I'll take a good picture of that so you can see it. And I'm going to start it in reverse, and the first speed we have in reverse is low. High, rather. There she goes. Didn't take long to get up to speed. It's pretty smooth. No feet, so it tends to want to wobble this way, back and forth. The case isn't totally round, which is totally flat, which is interesting. Okay, to low. There's low in reverse. Slowing down a little bit. It's a nice low. I like that low. The fan's not really shaking much at all, so it's pretty smooth. Alright, so now we're going to move it up to off, so it'll spin down. We're going to let it spin down. I was always taught, if you ever have something like this that moves in both directions, let it stop all the way before turning it to the other direction, which I will do. Now you'll notice that in reverse, it was turning in the normal clockwise direction. I just noticed that. In reverse, it turns the normal direction. That's sort of interesting. I think I remember correctly, the 2-speed versions of this fan also turn in the other direction for forward. Interesting. And now we have low in the forward flowing direction. In, as you would say. So it runs up to low pretty nicely. When it gets there, we'll let it hang. There you go. It runs really smooth. Very little noise at all. And it runs a pretty nice breeze right out of the center. Now we'll go to high. So there she is running on high. Nice RPM and a nice breeze comes from it. Now we'll go off for our spin down. And I did note a good spin down when I tested it, where I picked it up. The blades are very solid steel, not aluminum, so they're probably pretty heavy. The motor is huge. So there you go. You know, not the most life-changing spin down on that, but again, it's not been disassembled or oiled or anything like that. Needs to be cleaned so badly, so that would be the first thing to do. So it's going to be an interesting summer of pulling apart fans and trying to get them back together and all that kind of stuff. So there you go, 1958-ish Westinghouse box fan, 20-inch, 2-speed reversible. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any thoughts on the fan and specifically how to replace these rubber grommets once you get it all together, any information is welcome and helpful. So thanks again for watching, and have a good spring, everybody. Take it easy.